innovative content, global audience.
Sickle disease call themselves warrior. They battle their own bodies and they battle the society as well. You know the stigmatization that comes with being a sickle cell. The fact that people don't see you as being strong enough, or they see you might just be the next one to leave the surface of the earth. And when you see them and they are living, they live happily, and this is why we call them warrior, because they are strong and they are people everyone should associate with. I don't see the reason why we should see them less as a people or as humans. This is our health. Of course, you know where you are. When we talk about your health, my health, our health, like that saying, health is wealth. And so today on the show, I picked a topic. Let's discuss about sickle cell. We have a lot of them, a lot of warriors among us, like we popularly or fondly call them. They are warriors in this, the kind of pains they go through. I don't think it's a pain that the ordinary person can even go through. And some of them still come out strong, healthy, and they still live and do every other thing like us in the society. This is a reason enough for us to celebrate them and to keep applauding all their little efforts. Now, on Monday, June 19, was the World Sickle Cell Awareness Day, which of course, I left it for today because today is the head show. My name is Princess KESSY, and you're welcome to the show. Now, the theme for World Sickle Cell Day Awareness 2023 is building and strengthening global sickle cell communities, formalizing newborn screening and knowing your sickle cell disease. World Sickle Cell Day is a time to increase awareness about the disease and the challenges it presents to both patients and their families. Of course, we know that a lot of them do go through a lot. A lot of their families, a lot of the patient, the warriors. I don't like calling them patients. I like calling them warriors. They are strong. Have you seen the pains they go through and they come out from that pains? I once met a doctor at the hospital when I saw a patient, a warrior. She was actually going through a serious pain, and the doctor, I was inquisitive. I asked the doctor, just how excruciating is this pain, because I was feeling for her. And the doctor said this is equivalent to a woman in labor, if not modern. So you could imagine the pains they go through on a daily basis. Somebody is either struggling with their own bodies, fighting with their own bodies, either the pains from their joints, from their hands, from their back, ache, serious excruciating pains. And this is why I take her today on my show to talk about them. Now, sickle cell, it's a kind of disease, when the red blood cell. Now, when we talk about sickle cell, before I will even go there, I forgot to say today on my show, I'll be bringing a warrior as well on the show, a very, very beautiful warrior. And of course, I have a doctor all the way from Maldives as well that will be joining me on the show shortly. But what is sickle cell? A lot of people will want to even know what is sickle cell. Now, when we talk about sickle cell is a group of disorder that cause the red blood cell to become misshapen and break down. With sickle cell disease, an inherited group of disorder, red blood cell convert into a sickle shape. Now, when we talk about sickle cell, you could see on that image there, when somebody have a normal red blood cell and a sickle red blood cell, how it is. That is the difference. And then it turns into this shape. The cell die easily, leaving a shortage of healthy red blood cell. Sickle cell anemia and can block blood flow, causing pain, sickle cell crisis. And so anytime you see that they have this crisis, that means their red blood cell, it has turned sickle, that shape. And that is what usually throw them into the crisis. When you see them, when you see sickle cell patients, sometimes you could see that they have pains from their hands, from their leg, from the back. It's quite excruciating, like I said, and it leaves them in tears. Sometimes at that point, they also need to see a doctor, and that is why you see that they frequent the hospital most times to see the doctor. Now, I'll go into the age, the time at which people, how do you get a sickle cell? How come about sickle cell in a person? At what age can it be cured? There's a lot of belief in the society. Of course, we live in Africa where people will just tell you it can be cured and all that story. But today on this show, we're going to talk about all that there is to sickle cell. But like I said earlier on the show, I have my guests. They are on standby. So quickly, I'm going to bring them on the show before I will even go further talking about sickle cell. But let me quickly talk about sickle cell. You know, when we talk about sickle cell, a healthy red blood cell are flexible. They are flexible so that they can move through the smallest blood vessels. In sickle cell disease, the hemoglobin is normal, causing the red blood cell to rigid and shaping like C. So if you see that picture, they are curved like a C. And that is why the moment they go into that shape, they are prone to crisis. Or the sickle, the shape from which the disease takes its name, sickle, that is the name, sickle cell. Why? And we know that in Africa here, the rate of sickle cell, we have them quite in numbers and awareness. And this is why we talk about awareness. So I'm going to be using my show today as well to create awareness on sickle cell. When we talk about marriages, a lot has to be done amongst the youths to know who you marry, the reason for you to check your blood group, to know your blood type, your genotype just before you go into that marriage. That is something I'm going to deliberate on. But before I continue, let me bring in a warrior. Now I call her a warrior. She's a beautiful Nigerian African woman. She's a global woman, if you ask me. She's strong. She's very beautiful. She has been holding on, and I can't help but bring her on my show today. I bet you love to see this lady. I'll go on a quick break now. When I return, I'll return with my guests. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bijiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates, 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue, Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to event@superiorradioandtelevision.com and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and TapTap Send. You already know what time it is. Your boy Ice Prince Amani. I can't wait to ride this.
Okay, it's so exciting.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. Hooray! 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 It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wiliki, Konga, Bijiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates, 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue, Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www
guest. Yes, I'm here with my very beautiful, delectable Judith Ojongwa Matthew. She is the founder of Judith Ojongwa Sickle Cell Foundation, a well-known and registered NGO here in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. An NGO that is aimed at creating awareness and vision of a sickle cell generation, which we are trying to tackle. We are still tackling. Good morning, Judith. Hello, Judith.
Good morning. Good
Good morning.
morning.
How are you today, beautiful Judith?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. So tell us a little bit, let us know something about your NGO, the Judith Ojonugwa uh, Foundation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The NGO Judith Ojanugwa Sickle Cell Foundation
Yes, go ahead.
we need to create awareness and to ensure that sickle cell warriors get access to health, to quality health care and the support they need to live a fulfilled life. And we're also committed to providing a platform where sickle cell warriors can learn to live a healthy life and get all the support they need.
And then, Judith, let me ask you quickly: how is it so far? You know, we live in a society where people rather prefer love than well-being of their unborn children. So these days it's not even very easy to talk people out of the fact that you might be in love but you are not good enough to be together. Talking about for the health and the safety of your born children. I've seen people recently, they tell you we're in love, God will do it for us, we'll not have sickle cell children. How do we change this narrative?
That's the major problem we're having in society. People tend to put their own emotion first before anything. So if you see S and AS, people with incompatible.
You were having a little bit of network, or you're breaking up, Judith. We can't get to hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
But it's still breaking. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I said this is the challenge we are having now. AS and AS, that's people with incompatible genotype going ahead to get married. They are putting their emotion first, putting of them, but that's not what they are doing. They are putting love first. So we're trying to see how we can pass this education and awareness to them, letting them know that love is not enough and they can do better. And that's why we encourage the asking what's your genotype in the first date.
Okay, so Judith, being a warrior, we know what comes with being a warrior in the society like us. People tend to look down on you. They feel like you're not strong enough. They feel like you cannot do things your mates are doing. How does this feel?
This is too much on our part. For sickle cell warriors, we face stigma in many places. We have the workplace stigma. We have our surroundings. People tend to stigmatize us. We do not like it when at maybe our workplace we don't get to receive the we don't get to receive
The same energy as others because they feel like you're not strong enough. You can do things your mates are doing, and you can go places they are going to.
Yes, I've had that. Last year I was laid off from work because of the same thing. My boss was like, this person cannot do much because of her health, so we need to take her off. And it's rather so sad.
It's very sad. Very, very sad. So
So
being
sickle cell warriors they face stigma
now, how do,
in this present time and age.
yes, it's even more shocking that in this present time and age, where we have a time of technology, social media world, we see that a lot of people too have not outgrown this mentality and mindset. Now, how do you think we correct this impression to know that they are just human beings like you, they are strong as well, apart from the fact that they are prone to crisis because of maybe weather issue or malaria, any other thing? How do we even correct this impression? This make believe that they will die the next minute. Meanwhile, you see them even living healthy lifestyle, they live long more than others. How do we correct this impression?
Yes, all these things are myths. They are myths that they should be totally debunked. People having that myth that sickle cell warriors cannot live to a certain age, sickle cell warriors are lazy people, sickle cell warriors cannot do better in their place of work. But you haven't tried these people, you've not given them that opportunity
Chance.
to show themselves. So this is where my NGO come in all the time. We try to let people know that giving sickle cell warriors the opportunity in their workplace or anywhere, it will do a whole lot of good because we can even do better. It is just ourselves that are sickle. It's not that we're lazy. So give us the same opportunity you give to other people.
Now, Judith, how is it like getting medications access to? Is there anything like free medication? Because I feel for the warriors, the government is supposed to have a kind of scheme for them to have free medical access or easy access to medication.
There is no, I've never heard of, aside NGOs giving free medications to warriors, there is no form of provision for sickle cell warriors in Nigeria to get medications, and our medications are so expensive. And whenever we have our crisis, there's a need to always get them. And these medications, they always triple in prices all the time. So this is like a strain for us as warriors, not having enough adequate medical attention, not even having the money to get medication.
Yes. So, how do you think? What do you think the government should do about this?
Yeah, because sickle cell is prevalent in Nigeria. We have like 150,000 babies born every year in Nigeria with this condition. So I feel first of all the government needs to do better because there are poor awareness campaign going on. Like there's not much awareness. The government needs to do better first of all, and then I feel that the government can also provide like we need like a sickle cell clinic in Nigeria.
Basically, for the warriors alone, where they are full,
Specifically for
properly
us where we
attended
have,
to. Yes.
yes, yes. So
Okay,
that is
okay.
it.
Yes, and also, what do we do about people? What's your advice? Because we see a lot of young people, like we said earlier, they are so carried away emotionally and they forget about their health or the health of their born children. How can we even stop up this in the society?
I don't know. I would term it as lack of illiteracy and ignorance because
should
I
should
think
should
that is
should
why.
should Judith, I love to correct an impression. You see people that are well educated. I've seen somebody that came all the way from abroad. She schooled there and she came back. She wanted to make the same mistake. In fact, the family actually disowned her because of that. But she insisted she was going ahead with the man, and they traveled back. I don't know how that is working for them, but I bet it's not working very well. Now, it's not about being. I know ignorance is major part of it. Like our parents, our forefathers, they made this mistake, but we are a generation that is well enlightened, and that is why we are worrisome to still see young people for go into this in the name of love, in the name of emotions. How do you think this can be corrected?
But first of all, I do not know why AS and AS couples will still go ahead to get married, even in this modern time and age. But then they tend to put love in front of them, forgetting the life of their unborn kids or children at risk. So, first of all, I would say that is a no-no. AS and AS intending couples going ahead or saying that they want to do this thing at the expense of their children's life. I don't know why. But then there are measures that you can adopt. We have like the adoption,
Okay.
the PGD, the
Okay.
surrogacy. All those measures are expensive. It is not cheap. So I think, or I feel that AS and AS intending couples, I feel that this is why they want to get married, because they want to adopt these measures. If, for instance, they want to adopt these measures, then that's fine. But if not, I would say no.
Is a no-go area. Now let's talk about
No-go.
your NGO. How is that working well? We have a lot of warriors out there. I know you're reaching out to a lot of people like yourself. How are you? How are you? Is there support from anywhere? How is the funding like?
There's really no much support. Sometimes when we have to do like our outreaches, we have to take money from our pocket to do that. But other times we just throw up like an appeal, and then people just support individually. So that's how we get funding. So we don't have like grants or something. We don't do that. We don't have that.
Okay. So is there a way they can reach out to your NGO?
Yes, there's a way because the NGO is registered. So yes.
Can you say at the numbers or anything for people to get contact you in case of support?
Okay. For support, you can reach out to me directly on 080
Okay.
08067 001357. I'll take it again.
Okay.
08067001357.
Okay.
Ojonigwa Foundation. Yes.
All right. I'm really I'm rooting for you all. We are all warriors in one way or the other. We are here. We are all the same. And of course, I'm going to take it upon myself to see that a lot of people also reach out to you. And also, anytime you have your NGO, anytime you want to do any outreach, just let us know here from the studio to see any way we can support that move. You're a young warrior. You're doing quite amazing well out there. You're doing a lot also to carry others along. We appreciate you and we appreciate every single warrior out there, Judy. Thank you so much for being on the show this morning.
So much fun.
Yes, you're welcome. And do take care of yourself. Just before you go, Judith, what exactly do the warriors need to do to stay off crisis? You know, we live in a generation where also because my mate is doing this, I will go and do that regardless.
Yes. Okay. There are so many things that can trigger our crisis, and I'll mention four.
Okay.
One of it is extreme temperature, cold, hot temperature. So as sickle cell warriors, you must learn how to manage the boat, learn how to balance the boat.
So even wait, Judy. So even hot weather, I used to think it's just cold weather.
No, even hot weather.
Wow.
Triggers.
Okay.
Yes. So as warriors, we need to learn how to balance the boat.
Okay.
And then the second thing is stress. You see your mate doing some certain things. Do not try to show that you are more stronger or you want to show them that you can do it. What you know you cannot do, don't attempt it.
Okay.
Because stress is one major
Factor. Okay. All right.
Totally root off. Yes.
All right.
Yes. And number three is not taking your routine drugs.
Okay.
As warriors, it's expedient that you take your routine drugs.
Which is?
Yes.
What is this routine drugs?
Okay, we have folic acid, we
Okay.
have palodrine,
Okay.
we have B complex, we have the astimine,
All right.
we have the blood tonic. But sickle cell warriors should avoid blood tonics that are high in iron. Because we
Okay.
already have a lot of
A lot of
iron in our
iron.
body,
All
so
right.
we shouldn't overload the iron. Yes.
All right.
So if taking blood tonic, they should look out for the one that doesn't have iron.
All right.
Okay, and then the last one is water.
Wow.
It is very important that sickle cell warriors take
A lot.
water
Stay
all the
hydrated
time.
all the time. All right.
Stay hydrated all the time. So if you can do these four things, I bet you'd you'll be fine to some extent.
Wow, this is so encouraging and knowledgeable as well. Thank you so much for putting all this out for the viewers. We appreciate your time this afternoon. Keep staying strong, keep being you, and keep doing your best to carry every other person along. And we're here anytime to support you as well, Judith. Viewers have been on call with Judith Ojonigwa Matthew. She is the founder of the Judith Ojonigwa Sickle Cell Foundation, a well-known NGO and register here in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Thank you so very much, and do have a beautiful day ahead.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we have. You've seen it all. There are major things you can actually do to just stay fine. So is there a problem? All you have to do is to put in these measures. Do these things you have to do and you will be fine. Like I did promise, I have two guests today. I have a doctor all the way from Maldives. I'm gonna go on a quick break, and when I return, I will be coming back with my second guest of the day, Dr. Emmanuel. Stay with me, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Praise, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wileke, Konga, Bijiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Nigeria Film Corporation, and lots more.
Okay, my people, it cannot be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google.
At a quick break, I did promise I was going to come back with a second guest I have with me via call this morning, all the way from Maldives, Dr. Emmanuel Ekadolo. How are you doing this morning, Doctor?
I'm very fine, thank you. And how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. It's very nice to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, today we look just on Monday was World Sickle Cell Day of Awareness. And now we know that we live in a society where no matter the awareness we do, some people just tend to be emotional instead of facing reality. Now tell us, these sickle cell patients, how is it treating them, or what is it about them that we can, the doctors, now we're looking at the medical side. I had a warrior as well just a while ago. She spoke so much. But now let's go to the field now. The sickle cell patient, how do you treat them? How do you handle them? Knowing fully well how delicate their cases may be sometimes.
Okay, so this is a very important topic, and I'm glad that we have another awareness program that would actually enlighten people about the dangers and the complications of disease. So I know sickle cell disease is not something new to a lot of us here in Nigeria. So we've seen people who have the disease, and we've seen what they go through right from when they are diagnosed. It's very typical. Once the first diagnosis is made, you can see they come to the hospital with severe pains, which is the commonest feature, and also they come with loss of blood, so it's more of anemia. So we get to diagnose this disease at a very early age, and then when you realize that, you do a genetic check where you realize that the child has a sickle cell issue. So then you understand that this is a case of sickle cell disease. So
But what is sickle cell, doctor? What is even sickle cell? Let's start from there. You feel like a lot of people already know this, but you might be surprised that a lot of, because I bet if they do, when they're having cases here in Nigeria where you see XS and SS trying to get married regardless.
okay, so sickle cell disease is a genetic disorder that actually has to do with the red blood cells, to make it more easier for a lot of people to understand. So the red blood cell, which actually carries.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, are you there? Hello, doctor. Okay, a little bit of network issues there. Okay, we'll have him back soon on the show. So we are talking about, this is our health, where we bring you issues as regarding to our health. And today's topic is sickle cell. You know, there are times when people are born. Normally, sickle cell is what you're born with. It's not something you just go out there and you maybe it's airborne or something, you just get it. No, it's something you are born with, and that is why there's a lot of awareness going on out there. A lot of people believe that with the awareness, people won't fall victim, but you see a lot of the young people being carried away, telling you they're in love, and for this reason they will still go ahead regardless. Now, having sickle cell is when you have a trait. Now, you have to look at this image carefully. When you are AA, you know, as an AA person, you can marry any person you want. Talking about AS, SS, you're free to marry these categories of people. But when we now look at it, so when you are AS, you cannot marry AS or AA, because you might just be prone to the fact that you might have children with sickle cell. And then when you are SS, of course, you know that AS is no go area for you. It's AA or nothing else. And that is why the awareness is very critical in this part of the world. And a lot of people want to ask, why is it that we have a lot of AS here, SS here in Nigeria, in Africa? Don't forget also some of the major factors in running into crisis here and there is the fact that they are prone to mosquitoes. We live in an environment where mosquitoes are everywhere. Even during the day, you can see mosquitoes flying left and right. And this is Africa. We have a lot of bushes. We have places that are not well fumigated on monthly or weekly basis. And for this fact, you know, you are supposed as a warrior or as a sickle cell patient to stay away from mosquito. Like our warrior did mention, you have to stay away from stress. You have to stay away from rain, you know, cold, too much cold. So you can't be under the AC for too long. You can't be under a heat weather for too long. These are some of the factors. And then when we talk about the symptoms now, these are the symptoms we talk about. Anemia, sickle cell anemia is a cell, sickle cell, when the sickle cell breaks apart easily and dies, or when the cell dies easily. It comes with episode of pain, not just pain, but excruciating pain that it comes with. And the episode of extreme pains, it could be your hand, it could be your back, it could be your neck, your heart, everywhere. And it is called pain crisis. There are major symptoms of sickle cell that comes with swollen hands and feet. Sometimes when they're in crisis, even when they are not in crisis, you could see that their hands are swollen, their feet are swollen, and then frequent infections here and there because their cells are already weak, their immune systems are weak at that point in time. Then delayed growth or poverty. Sometimes they don't grow easily like their mates. vision problem as well. So these are some of the symptoms of sickle cell. And when we say sickle cell, people just feel like they are going to die tomorrow. You don't live long. No, that cliche was in the past. In this era where we live, they actually live a very healthy life. It's just for you to do what you're supposed to do and do away with the things that will not be helpful or needful in your health or in your life. I'm going to go on a quick break again. Now, when I return, hopefully we're going to bring back Dr. Emmanuel, who is actually just dissecting issues as regarding to sickle cell. Don't go anywhere. Our health will be right back after this break.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industrial icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists, Ice Prince, Terry G, Orishefemi, Oris Wileke, Konga, Bigiano, Nice Flow, Jet Play, and many more. Dates, 17th to 23rd July 2023. Time 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Venue, Lighthouse Theatre, 262 to 274 Camberwell Road, London SE50AY. Tickets available on Eventbrite at www.eventbrite.com/Nigeria Week or numbers below. For more details, visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week, produced by SRTV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information.
Welcome back from that quick break. Yes, I have with me once again Dr. Emmanuel, all the way from Maldives. Doctor, you were just explaining what sickle cell is.
Yes, sorry for the breakup. So, sickle cell generally is a genetic disease that actually affects the let's say the red blood cells. So it's much easier. So, what's the essential function of the red blood cell? It takes oxygen, it takes glucose and vital nutrients, around the body. So when we say a sickle cell, we know this sickle for harvesting rice and cereals.
Yes.
So that means that the blood cells, which is supposed to be a round or oval shape, becomes sickled in shape. Okay. So for those who are sickle cells, they have more sickle cell shaped red blood cells than the normal shaped red blood cells. All right.
Okay.
Now, what happens is that the normal function of the red blood cell is no longer going to be the same because that shape does not carry what the oxygen, the glucose, and the necessary things. And then to worsen it is that the blood vessels, where these cells easily flow through, like in the body, all around the body, it becomes difficult for this sickled shape to actually flow through them. So at some point, it's just like sickle, they get to hang on to the wall of the blood vessel. Okay. And then cause what we call an aggregation. So that will cause more like a blockage. So when that blockage occurs, that's when they start having crisis. So there'll be reduction in what oxygen, there'll be reduction in nutrients, in glucose supply around the body. So you see the child starts screaming for pain, headache, and all these things. Aside the fact that the blood cells, gets being destroyed. There is not enough production of healthy red blood cells. That will cause anemia. They also suffer this occlusion. And this occlusion can also cause things like stroke.
Wow.
Just like you have in people that are hypertensive.
Yes.
So you have what we call vaso-occlusion of blood vessels, causing stroke, causing severe pain crisis, and all the rest of it. So this is how the disease actually progresses. Just a summary. I'm not going into details. But then that's what you see every day that these people suffer. So the main symptoms are anemia and then this pain crisis. So they go through it like a cycle, literally almost every time. And they could be triggered by infection or any exposure to extreme weathers. And every little thing can just trigger it. So that's why you have them coming down to the hospital literally almost every week or even almost alternate days. So it depends on how severe
It
this
is.
child or these children actually get into crisis. So this is what you get to see in your everyday sickle cell patient.
Now, doctor, well said, well said. Now, at what age can sickle cell be detected?
Well, I think around 6 months, if I'm not
Okay, if
wrong,
it's that early,
if be able to check that a child genetic makeup or a child genotype rather. However, even before a child is born, it can also be diagnosed.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. So when the child is still in the womb, we can collect samples from the pregnant lady. Okay, there's the amniotic fluid, so amniocentesis or chorionic villi sampling can be done, depending on the stage of pregnancy, and this diagnosis can be made. Okay, so genetic counseling should be done usually, and then genetic screening and genetic testing will be done to diagnose this the disease.
Now, doctor, as little as these children, how do you even know when they start having crisis?
So, like I said, most of them usually come down with what we call anemic heart failure.
Okay.
Okay, at that very tender age.
Okay.
You should understand that children are growing, so
yes.
It's normal for them to be having a regular build up of their red blood cell rather than depreciation. So anything that will cause anemia in a young child in an African setting, we think of things like malaria, okay, which is very common.
Okay.
And we think of infection, and then also we have to look at the genotype. So it's something that has to be a normal routine test that will be done in hospitals because of the predisposition of this disease. Okay, I think in Africa, if I'm not mistaken, there are millions of children who are actually carriers and of this disease. Some are carriers; they have the trait only, but they don't possess the symptoms. All right, I think around 43 million people worldwide have the sickle cell disease trait. Okay, so that shows that a lot of them, and then I think around 176,000 of them usually die yearly of this disease. So it's something that's very common. So we as diagnosticians and clinicians, we see this literally every day, and they are cardinal symptoms. A child coming with difficulty breathing, fast breathing, child looking pale, looking ill, definitely is going to be ill looking. Not they actually don't grow properly. There's some developmental issues due to what the abnormality in their red blood cells. Like I told you, the red blood cells function is to what carry oxygen, mainly carry glucose and other vital nutrients. So if they don't have the number of good red blood cells, so you don't expect this normal development to occur. So you have a lack of spread of these vital nutrients around the body, and that causes what? Some level of slow development in these children. So you see that when they present to the emergency, you see children coming down with these symptoms, and then what clicks to your head as a clinician, you will have the causes of anemia there. Like malaria is common, some blood infection is also common, and then sickle cell disease is also a very common one, cause of anemia in children.
Wow, it's quite a lot there. And then let's look at the adult, both the children. Now you have I know you've been practicing outside Nigeria. You've once practiced here also in Nigeria. Why do you think we have more of sickle cell here and in this part of the world, Nigeria, Africa, compared to the other continents?
Well, I think sickle cell is quite common in African population. But sometimes they'll say it's a disease of the black. I think it's very common because even in America, it's not. You don't see it in the white population. You actually see it in the black population in America. Okay. But in parts of where I reside, in parts of Asia, they don't have sickle cell just like we have in Nigeria.
Okay.
But they have something similar to that. It's called thalassemia.
All right.
Okay. It's also another form of genetic blood disorder.
Okay.
Similar to sickle cell, and they present almost the same way.
Okay.
And have the same yes, and they are also the same class of genetic disorder, which we refer to as autosomal recessive genetic disease. Okay, so they are the same class. So people, just like we have it there in Africa, when you have someone with the traits getting
Okay.
married to another person
With
the same
traits.
okay, that predisposes them. Now,
Okay.
you have other forms of sickle cell, however, but the common one is what I'll just talk about, so don't get it mixed up.
All right.
Complex, but it's the same thing. So when you have someone who is AS, okay, and another person who is AS, I just want to clear out some myths because a lot of people feel like this is what happened. So I would explain myself carefully.
All right.
Okay,
Go ahead.
use appropriate terms.
All right.
So we have AS. These are carriers of sickle cell.
All right.
Most of the time, these people do not have the disease. They do not have all the symptoms. They might not even have crises.
Okay.
Understand? They live as healthy as people who have AA.
All right.
Okay. Then you now have the ones who have the disease, the SS. So if, for example, an AA marries an SS, that is good. It means that 100% of their children, listen, 100% chance of
Okay.
all their children will be what carriers.
Okay.
None of them will be a sickle cell disease child.
Okay.
Now, I'll go back again. An AA marrying an SS gives you 100% what carriers.
Okay.
No one will have the disease.
Okay.
However, if an AS marries an SS, so, okay, let's start with AS marrying SS, okay?
Okay.
So AS marrying SS, okay, it means that we are going to have chances. Now, these are probabilities. I want people to understand now.
Okay.
These are probabilities, and these are not number of children.
Okay.
So a lot of people actually get it wrong, okay? So the probability, if an AS marry SS of a child coming down with sickle cell disease, the probability is 50%.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Now, 50% probability means of every child you give birth to, there is a 50% chance that that child will become a sickle cell disease child.
All right.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
You are making sense. Go ahead, doctor.
You have 4 children. 2 of them will be sickle cell, 2 of them will be carriers. No, it's a probability.
All right.
For every child, so you might have 4 children, and the 4 children might come down with what?
Sickle cell disease. Okay.
And you can also have 4 children, or 5 or 6, and all the children might be just carriers.
Okay.
But in this case, none of them will actually have AA.
Now that is when an SS get married to AS, right? That is what you've been explaining.
Yes.
All right.
So the final illustration will be on the AS versus the AS.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are looking at the AS versus the AS, it's a bit different. All right.
Okay.
There you have a 50% chance. Okay, a 50% probability of the children, if any child born, let me say, a 50% chance of any child born being a carrier.
Okay.
All right. A 25% chance of any child born being healthy without the traits.
Okay.
And a 25% chance of any child being born having the disease. So that means of every child that is born, there is a 25% probability of the child having sickle cell, 25% probability of the child being healthy, and a 50% chance of the child being a carrier.
A carrier, okay.
So that's the so a lot of myths goes around and say, oh no, when you have 4 children, 1 will be AA, 1 will be AS, 1 will be SS, 1 will be AS. No.
Okay.
That is not correct. So let's get that right.
Okay.
And let's make the right decision when choosing a partner.
A partner. Very, very well said. Because this is one of the things we've been trying to, the awareness is still ongoing here in Nigeria. We've been trying to battle with that, where a lot of people don't tend to understand how serious this could be in the future. They just want to be carried away with their emotions for just a while and not minding regardless what becomes of their children. That is well said. I love that illustration. Now, doctor, we live in a society where here in Nigeria, I don't think they have free or easy access to medications and all that. They still have to go through the normal process like every other. We know that everybody that goes to the hospital is for one issue or the other. But what do you think? How do you think will create more awareness? Or do you think a special hospital should be for this patient, these carriers? Because theirs is like a pain they go through, and most even children are involved. where they go through excruciating pains. How do you think we can handle this more properly?
Well, as far as my knowledge would take me, I think there are a lot of foundations in Nigeria who actually give free treatment to sickle cell children.
But not governments.
Sorry?
But not governments. These are just NGOs.
Yes. So that's the deal now we have in Nigeria, which is quite unfortunate. Okay, but I think there probably will be some hospitals, some government hospitals in some local government or some health centers that actually give free care. I'm not 100% sure of this. Okay, but you can go and verify that could give treatment to individuals like this. But then you have to talk about management. You have to talk about facilities being available and others. And also, I think the main thing is a continual education of the public, because education and awareness should still keep going on.
Okay.
We'll get to the grassroots, because a lot of people still do not understand. So many people don't even know their genotypes.
That is true.
And a lot of people mistake genotypes for blood groups.
That is true.
They do not understand the difference. So I think education has to go a long way, all right? And it has to be something that is being taught properly in schools, educated. I mean, in our religious bodies, before people go into marriages, they should be able to counsel them. I know quite a lot of churches do genetic counseling and testing.
Before, yes, that is true.
So I think a lot has been done so far, but I think a lot can be done more to help propagate this information, and also to help those that are battling with it. And I know personally a family friend of mine who is a senior colleague, Dr. Vazwaye. He actually has a hospital in Edo State that actually does a bone marrow transplant that helps.
I was gonna come to that, doctor. That is there even cure to this, or at what stage do the crisis becomes minimum or reduced to an extent? I was going to ask you that. Thank God you brought that up.
Okay, all right. So, like I was saying, I know the doctor who actually does treat them, but it's quite expensive, and so many people can afford it. That's the truth. So many people cannot afford it. But yes, medicine has advanced to that level where bone marrow transplant is being done, and then there's a whole lot of follow-ups that goes on for a couple of months before there is this transformation from an SS to an AAG. Okay, so but the truth remains, prevention is better than cure, because it's quite expensive, and we know our minimum wage in Nigeria is 30,000 naira.
That is correct.
Imagine someone who can afford a 3 square meal to be able to afford to pay for such health services. All right. Yes, and it's unfortunate that the crisis does not get better. It actually gets worse
as you grow older.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
I thought
as they grow.
Okay.
But maybe the frequencies might reduce, but it becomes more severe. Like I said, this when you get older, the tendency of a young person having a stroke, is there. So you can imagine a 17-year-old boy coming down with a stroke due to occlusion of blood vessel in his brain.
Okay.
And then he's paralyzed. I don't know if you're getting it.
I'm getting it, doctor.
Children do actually not survive to their 30s. Very few percentage survive above 30.
Okay.
Most of the times they do not survive up to 30, and most times they are, because there's continuous blood transfusion, so they are prone to so many things. They are prone to infection. They are prone to transfusion reactions. They are prone to so many issues.
Okay.
I don't know if you're getting my point.
I'm getting your point.
And damage, organ damages, kidney injuries, so many things. Anemic heart failure. So these children will be on continuous medication, and it's quite difficult to manage and expensive at large. Expensive to manage.
So the best thing is to avoid it. It's just
people who are actually fighting it, and some people actually we're able to fight it, you know.
Okay, that is relieving enough that some people actually are able to fight it and they are still fighting it. Now, just before we let you go, doctor, talking about medically now from your profession, is there anything you recommend what they should do, what they should eat, what they should not eat, what they should not do as well?
Well, this is not an issue of diet. If it was an issue of diet, probably we'll be talking about diet, and perhaps that wouldn't be a big issue.
Okay.
Just like people who are diabetic or people who are hypertensive, where you can advise them on lifestyle changes,
okay,
dietary modification, and the rest of it. But this is not an issue of diet. This is a genetic problem. It's like a problem from the beginning.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
So
yes.
Like your genetic makeup, it's who you are. So it's not a matter of what you eat. It didn't come as a result of what you ate. So it can't go as a result of that. They are not risk factors. So the best advice I would give, like I said earlier, is prevention.
Okay.
Parents should try to check themselves. If you're already in a relationship, yeah, you should. Don't think any.
Hello, doctor. Hello, doctor. The network is breaking up again. Hello, sir. Okay, I think a little bit of network issues there, but he said quite a lot. Yes. Thank God you're back.
All right. So, like I said, it will not make any sense after giving birth to a child, and then after a couple of years, you lose that child. You understand?
Yes.
So it's better to prevent this from the beginning rather than to be sorry at the end of the day. And then you also consider the fact that these children go through a lot
of pains.
Spend half of their lives in the hospital.
Yes.
Treat infections here and there. So I think we should think about it and then decide on what we want to do, and what kind of children we want to raise. Healthy children, sick children. It all boils to partner choosing who want to have kids with.
Wow. Quite educating, if you ask me. I didn't know all this about sickle cell, but you've explained in a layman's language that I think I can now educate others as well. I used to talk from just the top of it, like on a lighter mood, but this today you've gone in depth and is well understood. Well, we do hope that Nigerians, the viewers, will adhere to what you have said, and they will try to do the needful. Even though you have all the monies in the world, like we say, money cannot buy you health sometimes. So you have to just take precautions. You have to avoid this while you can. I have been on call with Dr. Emmanuel Kadolo all the way from Maldives. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being on the show today. We really do appreciate your time. I know that you came back from night duty, you've not slept, so I'm very sorry for dragging you, taking your sleep away from you. I'm so sorry, Doctor.
It's all right. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to bring you on my show next time, right? But thank you for today. Thank you. We're grateful.
All right, then. All right. Bye.
Bye. Yes, viewers have been on call with Dr. Emmanuel Kadolo all the way from Maldives. I don't know what to say. I don't know whether I'm cold or I don't know what to think, but he said quite a lot. And now there is a particular footage I want us to see before I wrap up the show today. Maybe all what we're saying, some people could be stubborn, will say a lot and you feel like it's not making sense. But just maybe when you see this video, it will make sense to you. So see this with me and we'll be right back after this break.
Beg you. Beg you. Beg you. Do not bring forth children with sickle cell. Sickle cell is painful. Sickle cell will make you question why you were born. I beg you, if your ears, and your partner is AS, do not go ahead to get married. I beg you. Please. Don't. I'm in pain. My whole body is in pain. I'm in excruciating pain.
Wow, wow, wow. I don't know what to say. I am just kind of cold, kind of having goosebumps. I really feel for these warriors. And then you see something like this, and you still want to be carried away with your emotions with this love thing. Please, a word they say is enough for the wise. We know that we can only do our best to talk, like you've heard from the doctor, you've heard from a warrior. In fact, I brought a warrior first on my show. She told you the stigmatization in the society, the crisis they go through. Sometimes handling crisis could be difficult. You go to the hospital, attending to you is another thing. You know the medical system here in the country, and then about the things like she said she lost her job to the fact that the boss felt like this is not strong enough, she cannot be here. The things they go through in the society. Please, while you are out there trying to be carried away with love, while you are out there trying to love, while you are out there trying to do all that, I want you to take cognizance of the fact that, like the doctor did mention, will you be happy seeing your children dying off, or having been living half of their life in the hospitals, being in this not just critical pains, but something we call excruciating pains? I think it's not worth it. No love is worth it if you ask me. And then just before we go, let's even talk about this sickle cell. Let's throw more lights. I'm about to round up my show, but we talk about sickle cell, and we know that like I said, this year Sickle Cell Day was celebrated on last Monday with a team that say building and strengthening global sickle cell communities, formalizing newborn screening and knowing your sickle cell disease. So most of the newborns they had this year, they are trying to screen them on time to know their whether or not they are carriers. And then also the awareness, I think, should be taken to the grassroots, where a lot of people, like the doctor said, do you even know your genotype? Let's start from there. How many people have you gone to check your genotype? Do you know your blood group? People do confuse blood group to genotype, and this is something I think everybody should have a report of. Maybe this will help you, so when you're falling in love, like our warrior did say on your first date, when you say hello, hi princess, okay, what is your genotype? I think that's moving forward, that is what we should be doing, so that we have a system, that is a society that is free of sickle cell. And now we talk about sickle cell. We say people with sickle cell disease call themselves warriors. They battle their own bodies, and they are too often most confronted with hospitals all the time. They live most of their lives in the hospitals, where they are, sometimes your workers will doubt you, people will do things just to make you feel bad because of the pains they go through, and they have to confront the public as well with the stigmatization of you are not going to live long, you're supposed to die this time, today or tomorrow, and all that. That is a stigmatization that can even send somebody into death already. And then we talk about issues also. One thing about sickle cell is that they start fighting at early age, like the doctor did mention, from 6 months, and that is quite early. So you can imagine when a child starts having these excruciating pains at a very early age, which is something that is very horrifying if you ask me. This is the more reason you should check your genotype today. And don't forget also that not just going through the pains, but what are the monies involved? What of the medications involved? Like the warrior said earlier, access to medication is quite difficult, and these medications are very expensive. Is this something you're willing to do all the days of your life? This is the more reason why this awareness, if you're watching us today, share, like, invite others to watch this particular program, especially because it's something that everybody should see and learn from. And I leave you with the word today: health is wealth. When you think that health is nothing, sometimes you should try falling sick. Go to the hospitals, just maybe you will appreciate being healthy. And that is enough reason for you today. I leave you on my show today. Please go and know your genotype. So when you're trying to get in love when you're trying to get married, be sure that you're doing it for the right purpose. Be sure that you're carrying your born children along, not just being married today because of the fact that you want to get married. If you still choose to get married, of course you can opt for adoption, which is very correct. But of course, you know the society we live in. I leave you with the words today that whatever you do as you're adult, stay hydrated and please stay healthy as well. Thank you so much for being on the show today. We've been on the show, Our Health, Your Health, My Health, where we discuss our health. Of course, health is wealth. If you're not healthy, how can you come out? How can you work? And can you even look for money? So first of all, take care of your health. Make sure your body is the only place you have to live in. So nurture your body, grow your body, eat healthy, and stay hydrated. And just maybe when we do this, we keep doing this, we have a better society to live in. And so take care of yourself, and just as from today, when you see a warrior out there, please do well to stretch your hand to them. They need our help, they need our support. Don't stigmatize them, don't criticize them, don't call them names, don't say they are going to die now or tomorrow, but please stretch your hand to them. They are just humans like us, and they're strong as well as us. And when you are as a warrior out there, don't go clubbing, don't go staying on the cold because your friends are doing that. Stay within the rules, and who knows, you might just be the one who celebrates 100 years in a while. Thank you so much for being on the show. I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY. I'm going to have you again on this show, same time, same station next week. Before we go, don't forget our Nigerian Week London. Do well to go to everbright.com/Nigerian Week and get your ticket, get yourself a stand, be part of that event. We're going to London to showcase ourselves to the world. Don't be left out, and hit on the notification bell. Invite somebody to the page as well. And while your other is struggling, know that peace is priceless, so let's give peace a chance. See you again.
Hooray! It's Nigeria Week London 2023. This is a celebration of Nigerian foods, film, arts, culture, fashion, music, dance, and comedy. Also, there will be a comprehensive economic summit, exhibition of Nigerian organic agricultural produce, and a meritorious recognition performance awards to deserving Nigerians and industry icons. Nigeria Week will showcase Afrobeat A-list artists,